distributing it to different destinations. So, for example, Facebook, if it's working right now, Twitter, Twitch, and other places. So, check out haps.tv/invite/at Lyceum, and Lyceum is my username here on Haps. As you know, Lyceum was my former username or tag handle on Twitter. Nowadays it's Lyceum Peripatos in one word, and I have handed over my former username Lyceum to Lyceum.fm, Zachary Davis of Lyceum.fm, and I will talk more about that in a future post, an article on Medium, where I have a premium account, and it's time to do something about that account. And this is, as a content creator and new media advisor, is to find your way of doing this. So this topic today is Thursday. Force hammer and ventilate on something. Often it's an article in the latest issue of Economist. Here it's the brutal reality of dealing with China, and that's could agree with that one. And I will come back. In the title I had pain and pleasure, and hemp and happiness, and an article here called Global Happiness. It might seem scary, and there you have this sort of smiley and a COVID symbol, and they have a chart here also what have happened with different countries. So I will check out that and also link to that in a blog post that I will have on Ego blog, my first blog on Blogspot. That is called Blogger back in the day and owned now by Google. So yeah, I have an idea about that. So cheers. To do this live streaming, and then things that I mention, article, blog posts, products and services, I could then include them as a sort of a show notes in a blog post, and then embed this streaming broadcast when it's recorded, and people then could watch it later on. Right now, as I said, I will have this always at the start. Please sign up. This is a referral challenge on Haps, so I could win swag, Haps gears, and prize money also. It's a tough competition out there, and I have a couple of invites, but I see the potential of this one. And again, I say for the long run. And I will talk to Pablo here about his destination about Facebook. So I will see if it's going on here. No, it's not going here. So I wonder if something that I have done with the API, with the settings, or is something else. So now I will then go and check on because it's streaming on YouTube also, see if it's fair, because I want to hear the monitoring my voice and the recording. It says right now it's great, the connection. So we'll see here. No thanks of signing into Tube. So I will look here on my channel. So I will talk to, as I said, Pablo. He's reached out to me on Haps. Pablo on Haps, his username there, and we'll see do a testing what's going on. And I see now the streaming here on YouTube, and I will listen to it also if I hear my voice. Yeah, so I see it there. Great. And then now it's multitasking, and then I will open Ulysses, the Word document that I'm using, and I'm doing show notes for my podcasts and blog posts and other things like that, to-dos, goals, projects. So see here the show notes for this episode, and I will try, as I said, to keep it short and sweet. And last time I babbled for about half an hour, and this topic I could do it for a long time, but I will do it in increments in different parts. And I have a so-called cliffhanger here also that I want to talk about. So here is the show notes for this not podcasting, it's for the project of the folder broadcasting. So now looking down, you could see one of my podcasts, Ego Netcast, and I will do a new episode there in the near future about conspiracy theories to stir out around in the pot here a bit. Freedom of expression and freedom of speech, and talking about these strange theories, conspiracies that's floating around in the world, and especially nowadays. So, see here if it's uploaded here, syncing. So, there you have it. So, the pain and pleasure, and hemp and happiness. And the latest blog post that I did in the episode there on Ego Netcast, I talked about that I've been feeling a bit under the weather, and I wonder if it has to do with so-called the crystal sickness in Swedish, with the balance system with the ears or something like that, or if it could be something with the COVID situation, pandemic. And then I got introduced to industrial hemp products in different ways. You could have it a cream, you could have it on your body, you could also have capsules with hemp by industrial hemp, and you could also have it in oil, like CBD oil. So here is a that I recently got from Let's Hemp, and full disclosure, I'm a partner, independent partner or distributor, you could call it, and a happy customer. And I learned about the company and the owners and the production, all these kind of things, the quality standards. And also a guy called Jesper, excuse me, that has a great video series and blog about hemp, industrial hemp in Swedish, called Hemp Sweden. And there, excuse me, latest issue there, he talked about the cannabinoid, I will see here, it's a tongue ricker, how to say it right in with the tongue, endocannabinoid system, or the ECS. And that's, you could in a way call it the balance system, and also the different keys that Jesper was talking about. But inside your body you're cultivating this and creating this balance system. The thing is with hemp products, and like the capsule and like the CBD oil, that could be an alternative key and help the body to do this in a good way. And we'll test this oil here soon, and if you are in Sweden or in Europe, and we'll include the show notes there also, an affiliate link so you could refer to, and then I will get a kickback, so I could use for my own consumption, and also making investment in this podcast also. And as a side note, I was wondering that, and I will probably do a separate broadcast about that. Somehow I saw, I think it was on Facebook, that you're not allowed to at all talk about CBD and hemp, and I wonder what's about that. And here in Sweden it's a bit strange situation. You could get it for medicine with cannabis, but it could be harder with other things, and it has to do with this THC component in it. And as I said, I'm getting high on life. I'm not for using drugs. I am for legalizing the industry. But this is a natural thing. It's an industrial hemp product. So, and you could use it in all kind of different products, and the industry and the field is very fascinating. So then recently I saw on a site called Bulletin, they have some internal issues right now. You could call it a liberal slash conservative news site, news bulletin online, with leading op-eds and others. But there it was something with the founder, and they now are restructuring the organization and the management there. But anyway, they had an article about a study about hemp, an association. I will see if I can find the name here. I'll go back and see another one here. Yes, it was International Association for the Study of Pain. So that's why I had this pain and pleasure. And they say they complete a comprehensive review of research on the use of cannabinoids to treat pain, and finds that there is a lack of sufficient evidence to endorse the general use of cannabinoids for the treatment of pain. So I will include that link, and then it was referred to a Danish magazine, and then it was Swedish Bulletin. And I talked to Jesper about that, and he wondered about who could so-called be behind this and what's up with this, because you have lots of personal testimonials that it's working, and of course every individual is unique, so you have to test it yourself and see, and you can't come up with any guarantees or say that it cure this or that. That's not allowed. But the market, as I said, should be free, and you should be able to produce, develop, research, consume, and market this. And it's interesting what kind of opinion you could have of it when you read in the mainstream media. And then you're starting to do research yourself and learn from it, and then test it, coming up to your own conclusion. And that's pretty interesting. And this is why I'm doing this also, live streaming and my podcast when I started, and also when I started blogging in 2001 and 2002. But it was a thing happened in 2001, September 11, a terror attack on 9/11 in New York, World Trade Center, and other places. When I wanted to ventilate about that on my blog and spread better ideas for good rational philosophy, and also talk about terrorism and also what's behind the terrorism, the philosophy. And a new podcast that I started with Blair about separate church and religion, church and state, or religion and state. For me it's an important issue. You could believe in whatever you want for your own sake, but don't force it onto somebody else. So that's why the state shouldn't be involved in religion. So now I'm stepping down and then stepping up on the soapbox again. And we'll see here what's the time. It's about, I said around 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. Central European time, but I was a bit late. I had to send a thing, a post to my co-host of productivitet, to be productive and drinking tea. So fingers crossed that it will come in time, so we could talk about that in the next episode of our podcast. So I will include in the show notes, because I did the search as a thanks Fernandez for giving high five awards. I appreciate that. So I will include in the show notes in the blog post here articles to The Economist, for example, about this global happiness and the studies there. And one article that I searched on CBD oil, it was on Britain in 2018, Britain's stringent rules on medical cannabis harm patients. And there we see it now about this study, what could happen. And also in California, in they got baked, as they're called, dispatches in California, getting baked in California. The cannabis market is blooming on the West Coast, especially in the form of cake and cocktails. And that's Gillian Tersis gets a taste of the high life. That's 2017. And High and Mighty, Britain is set to allow the medical use of cannabis. And then another article on High is the weed the new green. And another one, Hemp's good habits. So it's lots of articles there on the Economist and in the Economist, and in 1843 magazine. So there's lots of great information that you could get into and read and learn about it. And again, I will do this promotion for getting the invite here on haps.tv/invite/ @Lyceum, and Lyceum is my username here on Haps. And if you do that, you give me a thumbs up, and I'm going up in the ranks here on the referral challenge, so I could have a chance to win merchandise, swag, gears, and so on, and maybe even prize money. And Pablo was funny. He said this is like the old school thing to do it, and I will do it as a certified networker. I will reach out to my contacts, my friends and others to sign up, because this is, as I said, a great tool, great service, nice atmosphere. And he talked about take a cardboard and write with a Sharpie. So he mentioned a brand name of a pen, and we have talked about that on another podcast called Pen Meets Paper. And here we had one Pilot, Board Master, and I used that for this card, and it's model 1927 note cards from Sweden. So very good quality, and it's nice to have this note to yourself when you're doing broadcast, and also for other purposes. So with that, maybe I should have wear the shades when I was talking about this controversial topic about hemp and happiness and this kind of thing. So with that, I say cheerio, and talk to you soon again. On Saturday it will be tea drinking party or some other beverage around 9 p.m. Central European Time. Will be a big thing happening there regarding podcasting. Undersigned and Karin Hansdotter Blad of Viktigt på riktigt, things that matters for real, really mattered, what really matters. We will talk about how podcasting could spread in a good way, in an organic way, and spreading the good word, and what could come out of doing a podcast and being a guest on a podcast and so on. So we'll do that, and we got the invite, and I'm very honored to participate in this by Dave, co-founder of the International Podcast Day, and they will do a showcase here around the world leading up to the International Podcast Day on September 30th. So I'm really looking forward to that on Saturday. So we'll do that in the afternoon, and it will be live and streamed by StreamYard, I think the service is called. So thanks again for watching, and thanks Mr. Fernandez here. I think it's and that gave me $0.15 high five award. So cheerio. And now I see also live I've been in 19 minutes, so that's great to see that, and also 19 viewers, and that I got $0.15, and the service is saying great. So that's a great information for me using a smartphone. So thanks Haps for improving all the time, and talking to you soon again. Cheers.